What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're finally going to be reviewing this guy here. This has been a long awaited, a lot of people have been asking me about this machine, the Milwaukee M18 Fuel 15mm dual action polisher, cordless, battery powered, fantastic tool. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into that and compare that to one of the ones that I've been using for a long time on the cordless options is the Dewalt. And we're gonna compare them kind of side by side, see what the differences are, see what the similarities are, and there's quite a few, so stay tuned. And if you like this type of content, anything related to car detailing, tips, tricks, how-tos, and product reviews, then please consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. Also guys, as a reminder, I did team up with Luke from Wilson Auto Detailing. He has a free live training event that he's gonna be hosting on September 15th, so we are under 10 days away now. Well, 10 days exactly. I'm actually filming this on Labor Day, so happy Labor Day to everyone. But with that said, make sure to hit the link down in the description to go register for that event so you don't miss out. He'll be talking about how to grow and scale your business so you can have recurring revenue and actually turn your passion into a full-blown business. Now let's go ahead and look at these polishers. Okay guys, so my first impressions of this Milwaukee tool is build quality is fantastic. I really like it. It's actually a bit sleeker than the Dewalt is. Now just looking at the overall design, you can see the back of it here is nice and narrow versus the Dewalt is a bit more bulky. So it's just, you know, doesn't make any difference really. It's just a preference thing, what works best for you. You can see the little handle on top here is nice and compact, really small. Versus the Dewalt is kind of a larger head. And this one also does give you the option to put a handle on it, whereas the Milwaukee, you do not get that option, right? So all you get is this handle here. As far as the overall size of these units go, they're basically the same height. Again, a little bit wider on the Dewalt, slightly taller when you're laying it down. The pad would, or the back plate sticks up slightly higher, but relatively the same, really close. As far as the batteries go, they both sit in there sideways, which is ideal. Some of the cheaper cordless versions will have the battery kind of sit like this in the machine. And that's bad because now you don't have a lot of clearance from your battery to your pad. Well, with the Dewalt and the Milwaukee, they go in sideways like that so that it stays nice and flush and out of the way from your pad. So when you're working on a vehicle's painted surface or even on the curves, the battery's not in the way. And just to show you guys, once again, the Dewalt is the same way. Keeps it nice and out of the way. Now, as far as the backing plate goes, guys, usually it's like this. This is a MaxShine M15 Pro. This is the green one. This is my go-to option for a corded polisher. I absolutely love this thing. Great value, and you can see there's just one little spindle there. You can back that off. You can change out the backing plate. With the Milwaukee and the Dewalt, they use, you know, when I reviewed the Dewalt, I said it was a proprietary system, but as you can see, it's these 4 little bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I did say it was proprietary, and I don't know if it is because it looks like the Milwaukee is the exact same plate. So it may just be kind of more proprietary to the big manufactured tool brands outside of the actual like specific car detailing manufacturers. I haven't played with the Flex tool, their battery powered one, but I'm assuming it's probably more of a backing plate like the MaxShine. That's typical for the auto detailing industry. Okay, now let's talk about the price of these machines. The Milwaukee, tool only, just tool, no batteries, no nothing. It comes with the backing plate still, but tool only is $299. Now, if you're like me, I bought this as a kit because I'm not a Milwaukee guy. I don't have a bunch of Milwaukee batteries. This comes in a kit with a bag, a charger, and 2 of their 6 amp hour batteries, and that kit runs $529. Now, if you compare that to the Dewalt tool, when it comes tool only, again, no batteries, just the backing plate and the tool itself, retails for $329. Although it is currently on sale on Amazon, tool only for, let's see here, what did I have here? $279.98. So really good value there. If you have Dewalt batteries, it might be a good time to pick this one up just because the value is there. If you don't have Dewalt batteries and you're trying to decide between the 2 of these, then stay tuned, we'll talk a little more. So the Milwaukee tool, as far as the power rating goes, it goes from 2650, which they actually label it on the dial here, 2650 to 5100, and they label it online as rotations per minute, or RPMs. That's typically how they rate rotary polishers because it's a pure rotation. These, on the other hand, are dual action, so they usually rate that by oscillations per minute. But again, Milwaukee knows what they're doing. They did rate it RPMs, but basically what I mean is that it's geared in a circular motion and then also spins freely. So when it's running, it's actually kind of making like this little like circular motion within a circular motion, and what that does is it mimics the motion of your hand. It reduces heat, it disperses the heat out, so you're not running the risk of burning through your paint, and also reduces the risk of leaving any holograms when you're polishing your paint. Now when we compare that to the Dewalt, they actually do rate theirs in oscillations per minute, not rotations per minute, so it's hard to kind of gauge if they're equal or not, but this one goes from 2,000 oscillations per minute up to 5,500 oscillations per minute. I will say though, when using this tool, I didn't feel like I've been using this one a ton. I've been using this for, I don't know, probably close to a year now. I like it a lot. And this one I've just only used for the past week, but I will say I don't feel any lack of power. So they're both on full power right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn them on. And they seem pretty, equivalent to me. They seem pretty much the same. I'm gonna go ahead and just for fun run them down all the way to low power and see if that's about the same. Yeah, very, very close. I mean, if it's not the same, it's so minute that you're not gonna even notice the difference. Now, like I said, power-wise, I didn't feel any difference. The Dewalt is a 20-volt machine. The Milwaukee is an 18-volt machine. I didn't feel any difference in power, to be perfectly honest with you. As far as the batteries go, battery life, they got about the same runtime. I didn't hook it up to a timer or anything like that, guys. It was just kind of an anecdotal rating of my use case. And I'm getting this just about the same amount done with each of these batteries. So again, both of these are 6 amp hour. I will say quality of battery, I like the Milwaukee better. Again, I'm not a Milwaukee guy. I have a ton of Dewalt batteries. That's why I've always bought Dewalt. The Milwaukee battery though, I really like it. As you can see, the power indicator for the Dewalt just has 3 lights that light up, versus the Milwaukee has 4, which I like just because it kind of gives you the opportunity to dial it in a little bit more. You know, with this, if 2 of those lights are out, I'm thinking I'm done. With this one, 2 lights are out, I know that I'm halfway through. So I like that they're a little more precise there. Also, when we talk about the design of the batteries, I really, really like the Milwaukee because it has this rubberized coating on the bottom, which is really nice when you're putting the tool down, especially with this tool, because when you have it like this, you can stand it up. And I do that a lot while I'm working. And with the Dewalt, it's great, it works, it does the job perfectly. But I have had batteries crack because it is just hard plastic. So I like the fact that Milwaukee puts that little extra bit of attention to it and puts that rubberized coating on the bottom of the battery. All right, now finally, let's go ahead and talk about comfort for using it. Now I am a little bit biased to the Dewalt here because I've been using it and I'm used to this tool very much. When I first started using this tool, I did make a note that this thing is a little bit weird because in order to lock the trigger on this machine, you have to do it with your pointer finger. So you pull the trigger and hit it there. Most car detailing polishers are usually just pull the trigger and hit it with your thumb and lock it in. As you can see here on the Max Shine machine, that's how it would be here. Presses it in, holds it into place, pops right back out. So I didn't like that on the Dewalt, but it's just something that I got used to and I'm fine with now. However, with the Milwaukee, they did go the more traditional car detailing polisher route where you pull the trigger, use your thumb to plug it in, and you are good to go. It's locked in and you can just get to work. Both of these machines do have a progressive trigger, which is really, really nice. Let me just plug this in and show you guys what I mean. Basically, you can have it set on full power, and it's okay. You can still start off slow and spread out your product just by compressing the trigger a little bit. There you go, and you can spread your product around and then pull the trigger more, and you're good to go. So I really, really like that feature. Both of these units have the progressive trigger, but as a traditional car detailing polisher, if you're just coming from that world of corded polishers and you want just a nice basic feel, then I would say the Milwaukee gives you that because it is right on the right hand side there. Also, the fact that the design is a little bit sleeker is more like a traditional car detailing polisher. The Dewalt is definitely bulkier, but again, I got used to it and I actually love this thing. Now, last but not least, the only negative I have to say about this Milwaukee, and again, it's pure preference just because I'm not used to it, is the size of the head. So on the Dewalt, it's very, very comfortable for me to just grab this. It's a large surface area and you can just kind of grab it and go. Really, really comfortable. For me personally, because the one on the Milwaukee is so small, I find myself really having to grab tight and just kind of compress my hand, and my hand cramps up. So again, it's just a preference thing. I'm just not used to it. I'm sure I would get used to it. I could also just hold it back here a little bit more and I'd be fine. But just something to note, when I do hold it here, my hand does cramp up. So which one would I buy? Man, if I was coming out of this and didn't have any batteries from either of these brands, if you buy the kit, they're pretty much the same price. The Dewalt goes for $4.99 for the same kit with two 5 amp hour batteries, not 6 amp hour batteries. So it's slightly cheaper than the Milwaukee in that sense. But if I'm coming from a traditional polisher, I think I'd probably like the Milwaukee better, just because I wouldn't have to get used to the lock mechanism, because it's in the same spot as most car detailing polishers, and the overall design is much sleeker. And then the fact that the batteries do have an extra indicator light, 4 indicator lights versus the 3 on the Dewalt, and the rubberized coating on the bottom, I think is a really, really, like, as little as that seems, that's a huge thing for me, because I have cracked batteries from the Dewalt. Now outside of that, guys, because I do have Dewalt batteries, if I was going to buy one of these machines now, I would still go with the Dewalt. I'm very, very comfortable with it. I love this machine. They both, even though the Dewalt looks bigger, they do both weigh just about the same, right about 5 pounds, and maybe slightly off by a few ounces, but nothing you're going to notice. So for me, I would still go Dewalt, but that's because I'm a Dewalt guy. I have a bunch of Dewalt batteries and a bunch of Dewalt tools. If I was a Milwaukee guy, I would for sure go Milwaukee. But again, if I didn't have either of these tools in any other sort, I didn't have any batteries, I think I'd probably go with the Milwaukee, just because the form factor is more similar to a traditional car detailing polisher, as well as the locking mechanism on the side. Just the car detailing polishers, typically, especially when you go into these DAs, the dual actions, they're not super bulky versus the Dewalt. It's not super, again, it's totally fine, I love it. But it is a little bulkier in the case. One more case for the Milwaukee guys is that they do offer that exact same machine in a 21 millimeter throw, which is cool. So like a lot of the professional detailers, you're gonna have a 15 millimeter and a 21 millimeter. If you're only gonna have one, I definitely recommend just going with the 15 millimeter. Kind of fits in everything, and it's kind of the best of both worlds for me. Traditional old school polishers were usually 8 millimeter throws. Then we have the 15, which corrects faster. The 21 actually corrects even faster, but then you can kind of get into some bogging on curved surfaces. And we're working on cars, so there's a lot of curved surfaces. Not all cars, but a lot of them do have that. So I like the fact that with the Milwaukee, you have the option to also buy a 21. You're gonna be using the same batteries and you're good to go there. So that's it, guys. I hope that video helps you. If you're looking at buying either one of these machines, have the confidence knowing that you're gonna love either one of them. Both of them work fantastic. I really, really like them. I've been using this one a lot lately, and I like it a lot. The only downside is my hand cramps up, but I think that's something I would get used to. So once again, guys, don't forget to go down in the description, click the link to register for that free live training event coming up on how to start and scale your detailing business. Other than that, please make sure to like the video, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one.